So this episode ended up being a weird one. I went into this with a simple, singular goal. I was going to keep recording until I got 10 achievements. What did I end up doing? 1. How comes? Well, I hadn't really looked into the achievements when I made that decision, and it turns out that the easy achievements, yeah, we've done most of those. I mean, there are a few, but do we know they're going to get in the way of some of the big ones? So, later. I did start, however, by going to get that one achievement. After all, this was intended to be an episode of achievements, so naturally I started that way. I decided a little while back who I was going to marry in this game, and that was Ayla, since she was easily the best potential candidate we've met so far. Had a little look online at all the other possible candidates, and yeah, even after going through all of them, she still felt like the best choice for me. So, let's get married. The hardest part of this whole process was finding Mara Mel, the guy who actually does it, and we buy an amulet of Mara that allows us to get married. Now it's a simple case of wearing it and asking Ayla to marry me, which I decided to do in Whiterun because it just felt right. And this whole proposal was incredibly formal. It felt less like I was proposing to a huntress and more like I was proposing to a Vulcan. Nevertheless, we are now engaged and we headed back to the Temple of Mara, and well, that's the first achievement done. Doing that made me think all of these achievements would be quite easy, but that certainly wasn't the case. But hey, at least we have one, and we also now have a wife. She wants to know where we'll live, and I say my fancy house in Windhelm, especially because Lydia is still living in Whiterun. And we head there and discover she has a shop now. Cool. Also, she can still travel with us, so nothing's changing. That's the easy stuff out of the way though, since the rest of the achievements are not going to be easy at all. But the sooner we start, the sooner we get them done. The two big achievements we still need to do is clearing 50 dungeons and having 100,000 coins. There are some marriage related things that I can do to get achievements, and they're actually quite easy, but they all require a coin, and it feels mad to do that before I get the 100k achievement, so we'll do that first. I decided to start by clearing our dungeons, which started very easily. I mean, killing this one thing counted as a dungeon complete. I'm serious. I wish I could say they were all going to be like this, but no, they really weren't. The next one was the Vampire Stronghold, but the vampires are not super difficult. Well, okay, this Master Vampire was, but hey, that's the whole reason I have this werewolf mode. Team Jacob wins, bitches. Christ. The rest was done without issue, and then we headed to Whiterun because, well, we're being smart. We are fusing our need to clear dungeons with our need to make money. I'm getting as much stuff from them as I can and then selling them to a shop. I'm going to be making money by smelting the ores we have and using them to make more valuable things. I also did some clearing out of my own other valuables before making everything I could and then selling what I could here and then going to some other places to keep doing so. Dungeon clearing is still our goal, but we do need to be careful because some places can't technically be cleared like this one. I just wasted my time here. The next one could though, we wiped out the orcs here, but my inventory was quite limited, so I sold what I could before I returned and pushed forward, finding it to be far more interesting than a normal dungeon. In fact, I found these interesting shards for a Daedric weapon. Well, that's the quest. After selling off the assets I decide to investigate the quest. Do you remember a while back when I was in Dawnstar and I could not get this guy to just piss off and let me do what I need to do? Well, that was for this quest. And when we're there, well, we have to deal with the dragon first, but considering my desperate need for cash, I ain't complaining about dragon bones and scales. This twat is trying to put together a Daedric weapon, which is actually useful because I need to get all those for another achievement, and he'll pay me for my trouble. He's already given me $1,000 for the shards. There's 2 more components. The first is immortal, and honestly, that was very easy to get. I just need to break into this house, then into the chest, and voila, we have the hilt. I hope the rest will be just as easy. It won't. Once I do that and I clear some more stuff out, over 40k so far, that's pretty good. We managed to head all the way out there and, well, I got completely massacred. And did I auto-save or manually save? Of course not. I keep getting screwed by lack of auto-saving and lack of me saving. You would have thought I'd have learnt my lesson by now, but alas not. This time I go around the long way, coming across an orc fort that I can't enter yet, and then finding another dungeon that can't be completed. When we finally get there, we enter, take out a few guys, before coming out on top and getting massacred. Werewolf mode is the answer, but even then I must be cautious. I do finally manage to slaughter them all and also eat them so I can level up a bit, because I always forget to do that with the werewolf. I probably could have had this done by now, and that is an achievement. With them done, we head into an actual completable cave, which more importantly houses those last parts, and we werewolf our way through before we find the final bit. After a brief sales trip, we have a chat with the guy, get another grand from him, and he wants to meet us at the shrine. Getting there was challenging, but you know, it helps when you actually go the right way. When I did that, it was far easier. This Daedric prince wants us to murder our friend, which seems wrong, but we also need the blade and won't get it unless we do, so I guess we don't want to be right. We kill him, steal all his shit, money, 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 and then get the Raider. We also have to kill a couple of people outside, and then I head in to do the same. Again, it's free money. Selling all that stuff gets us over 50 grand, which is halfway. I take a bit of a break when I use a bunch of the gold I collected to make a bunch more things to sell, and boom, over 60 grand. I was kind of ready to be done, but instead I decided one more dungeon. Of course I started with a dungeon I couldn't complete, but hey, at least there was plenty of loot. The next dungeon could actually be completed, and it was a pirate stronghold. Killing the captain was a bit of a challenge, but I got it done and then feast on their remains, as you do in life. Also, we steal all their stuff because this is just what we do now. We set it all off and then I guess we're done for the day. So how do I feel about our progress? Mixed. After all, my original goal was 10 achievements. I only got 1, but that goal was set without really understanding what I was saying at the time. In terms of getting stuff done though, we got that 1 achievement, and we also made progress on the dungeon clearing one, the money one, the Daedric artifact one, and the werewolf one. Plus, you know, that money can also be used for several more future achievements, so I think that's a pretty good job. Next time? Honestly, not a clue, but I guess we'll keep pushing towards those achievements, maybe get 1 or 2, but we'll have to see. All I know is I'll see you then.